simple little things of the little things of life. And I promise if you take the time, you won't be looking for too long before you find this little secret of mine.
I can tell you how I met her.
That wasn't funny, was it? It kind of was, but it was kind of sober.
I run the floral business, and in this particular day, I had deliveries to Berg Mortuary in Orem. Well, what happened is when I got to the mortuary, I took the flowers in the door, and there was Max Berg, who owned the mortuary, and he said, "Well, Keith, come in. I'll show you the around the mortuary, because we just got it finished, and it's really nice." So as soon as he got in there, Cosette's mother came up, and she said, "Well, Keith, I'm sure glad to see you. I want you to come over and meet my daughter." And so I walked over to the casket where there a young man was laid in the casket, and standing beside of him was this beautiful woman. And her name was Cosette. And I, oh my, she's very impressive. I looked at her and I thought, gee, she looks very nice. So I met her at the head of her husband's casket.
Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine?
I would say, I couldn't say I just had one happiest day. I'd rather say I had two happiest days. Okay, my first happiest day is when I married this beautiful 18-year-old that I met in the mission field, and we enjoyed life together for 10 years. And then she got cancer and passed away. My happiest day would, I'd say, when we first met, and the good times we had, because I loved her a lot. Second happiest is when I met this beautiful lady at the age of 30.
28, Keith.
28. Oh, 28. At the age of 28. She had 5 boys. I had 5 girls and 1 boy. Then we got together and had 3 more, another boy and 2 girls, which made 14 altogether. She
I don't even know what to say.
Say, wow.
11 of us good to go there?
And she said, after we got married, she said, well, if we can make it the first 10 years, we'll be all right. But it took more than 10 years, at least 15, to get used to it all, you know.
Must have been, it took about 20 years for it all to settle down.
Kind of gel together.
Yes,
Yeah.
people started leaving.
My family is very important to me. And so when you ask a question like that, I probably put 2 things together, because with family comes my church. My church is the most important, my belief in the church, and because that involves the family. If you want to have a happy family, you've got to plan to be together, not only in this life, but in eternity. And we believe in eternal marriage. We go to the temple to be married for time and all eternity. That seals the family together. And if they're taught the right things in the family now, they'll be prepared for the future, not only for life here and how to live, but for the hereafter. Well, I would divide success that they say that there's two different successes you might have, and I have explained the first one is the gospel of Jesus Christ, that we live that. Next would be success in life would be to not necessarily accumulate all the things that you like, but to find happiness in the way you live. And to me, that would be happiness, and that can come, in my idea, through families. As I grew up, I found hope in trying to prepare myself for life, what I was going to do. As a young boy, you might say, I worked to try to earn money because I felt that was necessary if I wanted anything. My mother was a widow, so I had to buy my own clothes or whatever I wanted to spend. So I worked for my uncle in his farm just out of Brigham City. I thinned beets, I hoed beets, I topped beets, and I hate beets, although we don't do those things anymore. I decided I don't want to be a farmer. I guess if freedom would be to me to be where you can really have life and enjoy it, that you're not hindered by a lot of restrictions. And so to me, I would say the example would be, I traveled on a troop ship when I was in the service from New York to England. On that troop ship, we just had bunks about this wide you could just lay in. They were stacked up all the way to the walls. They had salt water, no good water. The food was cooked by the limeys, which was beans and that sort of things that they have. So, and you got sick as a dog. So all you could do is go to the top deck and throw it out in the sea. And of course, there'd be a lot of others that are sick up there. So freedom to me is when we finally landed on the shores of England and was able to go down that gangplank, and there was good earth. And we fell down to the earth and kissed the earth, and this is freedom.
Look upon the clouds as
Well, from my understanding of heaven is much the same as it is here on the earth, except that there will be things perfected. Of course, being there's 3 degrees of glory, there'll be different degrees of people. If they prepare for the lowest degree the way they live, that's the way they'd be satisfied then to be in that degree. But if they are prepared and live all of God's commandments as set down by Jesus Christ and taught by his apostles, then they would be blessed to live in the celestial kingdom, which I understand is a lot like it is here. Life in the hereafter be a lot like this. I mean, what more beauty could we have in heaven than we got here? We'd have flowers and trees and happy people, and they would be seeking for the things that they learned here on the earth to seek for.
trying to find a place where they belong. Now I close my eyes and focus on the song that the wind plays as it moves and blows along. And I can finally see as I grow older and live, that there's more that's waiting for me, and more I have to give.